right? And have a block nearby if you have it, have water nearby if you need it. I'm gonna begin here by taking a little focus on the Visuddha chakra, okay? So the energy center, I know we've talked a little bit about chakras before. The energy center that resides in the throat, in the neck, it is right like around just below the Adam's apple and above the collarbone. Just sort of like where you have that little natural well there. And that energy center, Visuddha, if you were to look up the definition of what Visuddha means, you would find that it translates to the word purification. Purification. So I feel that when we are able to speak and communicate and express ourselves well, it's a way of purifying ourselves from like really deep purification from within, right? Some of us talk too much. I bet you all know somebody out there like that, right? And some of us hold back and don't talk enough, right? Some of us repress that communication. We're afraid to speak our truth, right? So I want to work on finding this balance. For me, I tend to talk too much. I feel like I have a lot to say. So I'm working on trying to talk a little less. I just watched this weekend the opening of Hamilton, right? It was on Disney. I don't know if anybody saw it, right? But I watched it and I was enthralled. I never got to see it live, and I loved every moment of it. And that moment when Adam Burr says to Hamilton, because he's going, right? And he says, talk less, smile more. I was like, oh, I need that. So maybe you already know where you fall on that scale of communication. And I want you to start to pay attention to the throat. So bring your hands to your heart center and draw them so the thumbs are delicately touching onto the base of the throat. Right? Listen to your breathing. And we're going to start with Ujjayi breath. Some of you may be very familiar with what Ujjayi breath is, or maybe it's new to you. Maybe you know it, but you're just not familiar with the name. So Ujjayi breathing means that that's that breath where we have a slight constriction of the back of the throat, where it creates that oceanic sound. So to create that for the first few rounds, I'm going to ask you to breathe in through your nose and out the mouth. But when you come out the mouth, I want you to imagine it's like you're fogging up the mirror, or you're trying to clean your glasses. Yeah. So take a good inhale through the nose. Open the mouth and fog up the mirror. Good. Next time you take it, notice the shape, position of the tongue and the Adam's apple. Take a big inhale. Open the mouth and fog up the mirror. You notice how the tongue kind of draws back and the throat kind of draws back a little bit. Now I want you to try the same exhalation, but with the lips sealed, to see if you can still get that little restriction in the back of the throat. Inhale nose, exhale nose. Good. This little breath here comes in and out as well, in as well as out. So see if you can now take a few cycles where that restriction is coming on the inhalation and also on the exhalation. And if you're having a tough time finding it, don't worry. It can be a little tricky when it's new to you. But what it does is it slows the breath down. Ujjayi actually translates to victorious, victory breath. Good. And we're going to see if we can continue working on this victorious breath through our practice today. Slide the hands down toward the heart, sit up nice and tall, and let the chin come down to the chest. All right, we're going to move through that neck here. in activating and awakening the Vishuddha chakra and helping our source of communication. With an in-breath, lift your head up, reaching the arms up, maybe letting the head open up and the throat open up by letting the head relax back. You can always separate the arms a little wider if that's more comfortable for the shoulders. Good. And as you take your next exhalation, draw the hands back to the heart. And as you do, bring the chin down to the chest again. This is called Jalandhara Bandha. I know I'm giving you lots of names, right? So a part of being a good communicator is not only speaking well, but it is also listening well. So take in as best as you can. Inhale, arms reach up, lift chin, lift chest, open throat. Exhale, draw the hands down, and we're slowly moving through this little process, chin to chest. Let's take one more. Inhale, arms up, head up, chest up, throat open. Exhale, hands slide down, chin slides down, Jalandhara Bandha. So good. Release the hands down by your sides, lift the head up. All right, take another breath in. Exhale, right ear toward right shoulder. It's a stretch that we do almost all the time. I love this one. Maybe you can lift those left arms up just a little bit and reach them down and away, right? So try not to make it like parallel to the floor, but more like a downward angle, like a diagonal from the crown of your head to the tips of your fingers. And then inhale, center. Exhale, opposite side. Oh, yes. And if you feel like you need more, just slide the hand up and reach it away a few inches. Feel that yummy stretch. Good. Inhale, center. Exhale, pause. Nice. Now we're going to take that neck in all four directions, 2 cycles on each side. Breath in here. Exhale, chin down to chest. Inhale over to the left and slowly back. Exhaling to the right and slowly down. One more time on this side. Inhale left and back, finding your own range of motion. Exhaling right and down. Switch the directions mindfully and slowly. Inhale right and back. Exhale, left and down. Last cycle here. Inhale, right and back. Exhale, left and down. So good. Bringing the head back to neutral. Bringing the hands to the knees and take a look at the position of your feet. Right, I'm bringing mine a little bit forward. I'm walking to the front of my chair. Get the ankles underneath the knees and hands on the knees. We're going to start what we call barrel rolling, right? So lean the body forward and then lean the body to the left and start to lean the body back and lean the body right. So just like you did with the neck, keep it smooth, right? And circular. You might keep your eyes closed if that feels good. Maybe you open it and eventually you realize that you can start moving not just the torso, but that the head and the neck and the shoulders can actually get into this pose, this barrel rolling. Like, so you would imagine that you are on the inside of a beautiful oak barrel. Yeah, and you're just rolling your body through the smooth surface on the inside. When you feel ready, you can switch the direction. So now we're going right and back, left and forward, right? And so maybe as the time goes, you start to really create such organic movement. The circle can be as big or as small as what feels good for you. And then slowly making your way back to center and just pause for a moment. Wouldn't be unusual to be almost a little lightheaded, right? That's kind of a spiraling position. So just be patient and breathe. Good. And then we're going to heel toe those feet out as wide as the mat. Right, maybe turn the toes out slightly. Keep the hands on the knees. Good. Take a nice breath in. As you exhale, start to lean the left shoulder down toward in between the legs. Turn the head to look over the right shoulder. Good. With an in breath, push back up and center the body. Good. Another inhale here. Exhale, leaning forward. Now that right shoulder is kind of dipping down toward the center. Look over the left. Good. And inhale brings you back up. Good. So let's just take 1 or 2 more rounds on each side. Move slowly and breathe. Inhale here. Exhale, dip. Maybe you go further. It opens the hips a little and the shoulders. Inhaling up. Exhale, dip. Turning the head to look over the shoulder. 1 more cycle on each side. Use your breath, right? The exhale as you dip. And the inhale as you rise. So good. And then coming back to center. Good. Heel toe, those feet to a hips distance. Good. And then let's warm those shoulders up a little bit more. Inhale, arms reach up. Exhale out like wings and back down like a circle. Inhale up. Exhale out like wings. Maybe they come further back and they circle forward again. 2 more times. Inhale up. Maybe they go a little further back each time, reminding yourself this is a practice of health and well-being for the body and the mind. Don't overdo it. Last one here. Inhale up. Oh, and exhale back. Really, really good. All right, now bring the hands back behind you. I'm just going to turn around so you can see. I want you to interlace the fingers. Right, with the knuckles pointing down toward the mat, or not toward the mat, toward the seat of the chair. Habit to say mat for me. All right, so we're going to work on squeezing the shoulder blades together. Yeah, good. And so if you're far enough forward on your chair, you should have enough space to really pull those arms perhaps further back behind you. I'm going to give you that side visual here. I know that it's always so much easier for you to see, right? If I'm like this, right? You see how far I am from the back of my chair? Good. Now turn your head to look to the right and draw those knuckles to the left. Begin a little bit of a twist. The spine is moving. Breathe. Can you remember that Ujjayi breath? Good. And while you're twisting to the right, just draw the chin down toward the collarbone a little bit. And then inhale, lift it up a little bit. Good. Back to center. Breathe in. Exhale, look over the left shoulder. Draw the knuckles to the right. Good. Chin coming down toward collarbone. And then maybe lifting up a little higher. And center the body. Good. Release those arms, sweep them out and up. And exhale, hands to those knees and slide, slide, slide yourself down into your first forward fold. In your forward fold, please try to let your head go, right? So that you can feel like your head is almost like a really heavy piece of fruit that's hanging on a tree like a mango, right? Think about a mango, skinny stem and big, heavy, juicy fruit. Shake your head, yes. Shake your head, no, right? Yes, I am going to work on good communication, not over talking and listening and not keeping in things that I really need to express for myself, right? All right, push down into the feet, sweep the arms out, rise on up again. Good, and exhale, hands to the heart. Beautiful, heel toe those feet out a little wider again, right? So make sure that they're wide and stable, right? So you're far enough forward in the chair, feet are flat. All right, inhale, arms reach up. And exhale, arms out like wings. Bring them back behind you again. Interlace those fingers, squeeze those shoulder blades together. Good. Now we're gonna forward fold, but really use your own judgment as to how far forward you can go. I don't want anybody tipping over and letting their head plop on the floor. So stay strong in your core, right? Your belly and the base of the genitals, the pelvic floor, to keep you stable. Big breath in. Lead with the heart, lead with the open throat. And once you start to kind of feel that crease in the hips, like making a connection, you can perhaps let the head spill over again. All right, some of you might be able to bring the arms up and away, or maybe just keeping the hands on the lower back. Good. Nice. And then with your next inhale, push down into the feet to rise back up. Ooh, release the hands. Inhale, arms reach out and up. And exhale, hands to the heart. Good. Right, heel toe, those feet back to hips distance. Inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, out like wings. Good, look to the left, big breath in. Exhale, pivot and twist. Good, now anchor that twist. Left hand to the back of the seat of the chair. Right hand onto the outside of that left thigh. Good. So while the body is twisting to the left, we're going to create what we call a double helix. Take an inhale. As you exhale, just turn the head to look over the right shoulder. So body is twisting left, head is twisting right. Good. And then with an inhalation, lift the arms up, bring everything back to center. Exhale like wings and look and pivot to the right. Anchor that twist. Right, bringing out all the tension in the spine. Gaze is looking over that right shoulder for the first breath or two. Can you still find that Ujjayi breath? Little constriction of the back of the throat. And then on your exhale, create that double helix. Turn the head only, so the head gazes over the left shoulder. So good. And then with an in-breath, release the arms, reach them forward and up. Good, and exhale down by your side. Really, really well done. All right, so we're gonna just wake up the hips a little bit more. Lift up that left leg, right? Circle the ankle, flex and point the toe. Take a little compression to the hip, and then maybe some movement to the hip, right? So we're gonna come into a warrior pose shortly, and I wanna make sure that the hips have some lubrication in them. Yeah, good. And then maybe releasing, holding on behind the leg, straightening that leg out in front of you to the best of your ability. Point the toes. Stretch the top of the foot. Flex the toes, stretch the bottom of the foot. Bend the knee, place it back down. In breath, opposite side. Hug that right one in. Sit up tall, shoulders back and down. Maybe move through that foot. Yeah. Some creaks and cracks going on in there. And then start to roll. I know we talked about this last week with the Tin Man, right? Maybe that was 2 weeks ago. All right, little lubrication. And then back to center, straightening the leg out in the front of you. Point, really, really point. Stretch the top of the foot. Flex, stretch the bottom of the foot and the bottom of the leg. And soften the knee and place it back down. Really good. All right, now we're gonna take that right leg and we're gonna step it out to the right, like all the way out to the right. This is a really good time to use a block. If you've got your block here, you don't need one, but I really like the benefit of a block here. You could always use a book, remember, instead of a block. You wanna have that block just in front of your chair. I have mine on the lowest setting, but you can always put it higher or even higher, right? So see what works for you. Good. We're gonna turn the torso to face over that right leg. And then we're gonna take that left leg and see if you can lower the knee down to the block or the book. All right, looking good. So for the most part, our entire right hip and sitting bone and back of thigh are on the mat, or on the seat of the chair, right? And the left tushy cheek might actually be kind of hanging off a little bit, and that's okay. Stay strong in your core. Make sure that that right foot is got the sole of the foot nice and grounded, and heel underneath knee. And when you're ready, with an in-breath, reach the arms up. All right, good. So spread the fingers, maybe lifting the head, chest, and opening the throat again. So here's an opportunity for you to express yourself in a different way. Communication is not just the words that come out of your mouth, but it is body language. It is eye contact, right? So express yourself with your body right here. Good. One more breath in. And exhale, hands release to the heart. Good. All right, now option, keep that left leg on the block where it is, or maybe see if you can extend it back behind you. Move my other block out of the way, right? So this would be more of a full-on warrior one pose. So let me move this so you could actually see. All right, so that left foot is flat, and those left toes are kind of like a 45-degree-ish angle, but we're still squaring off our shoulders and our chest plate toward that right leg. Yeah, all right. If this feels like it's too much, lower that knee back to the block. On an inhale, reach the arms up. Good, lean back. Beautiful. Breath in and breath out. Now interlace the fingers, bring the hands to the back of the head, right? And see if you can get a little bit more opening in the front of the chest and the throat by leaning the head into the hands and opening the elbows wide. Good. One more breath in. As you exhale, draw those elbows closer toward the face. Bring the chin down to the chest. Stretch the back of the neck a little bit here. Don't force it, right? It should feel really nice across the trapezius muscles and the back of the neck. Good. And then inhale, open the elbows wide again. And exhale, release the hands down. Good. All right, now for this next variation of the pose, bring that knee back to the block. All right, it'll give much more stability here. Bring your hands back behind you. Interlace those fingers. All right, I'm gonna start here by seeing if you can lean back again, just like you did when we were seated forward a little while ago. Maybe open the front of the throat, yeah. And then I'm gonna give us an option to come into a pose called Humble Warrior, right? Remember, anytime you fold forward, you wanna stay strong in your roots and your core. So keep those feet grounded, keep the belly strong, the pelvic floor strong. Lead with your heart, start to lean forward. And maybe when you feel that belly making a connection to the thigh, you can let the head spill over, arms come up and away. This might be very much too much for some of you, right? So take what you can. Yeah, take what you can. Take what's available. Good. And then let the inhale rise back up. Woo, and release your hands. Slowly pivoting the body back to center and pause for a moment. Breathe. Before we take it to the other side, I think the point of our yoga practice is to have a better human experience. And if we are to have a better human experience, then communication is at the heart of our practice. We're slowly going to take that left leg, step it out to the left. Pivot the body over to the left and start by lowering that right knee down to the block. So doing that little 3-part warrior series here, right? Square off the chest plate, the hips, and when you feel ready, arms reach up, right? You could always have one arm up, by the way. You know, one hand could be down on the back of the chair if you need it. Yeah, or maybe lift up both. Express yourself here. There's that moment, like Adam Burr says, talk less and smile more. Beautiful. Now interlace the fingers, bring the hands back behind the head, thumbs down the neck, elbows open wide. Feel the support system. You are held. One more breath in. As you exhale, start to draw those elbows closer into the face. Just bring the chin down toward the chest. Oh, right. It's a very slight, subtle movement, but feels so good. Nice. And then inhale, open the elbows wide and release them down. Option to keep that knee on the block or to extend that leg back behind you, right? Toes, foot comes flat and toes are on a 45-degree angle-ish, right? Chest plate is nice and square toward the left leg. And then with an in-breath, arms reach up. A little more depth in the pose here. Good. Breath in and breath out. So we communicate with ourselves all the time. Do we do it with that good intent of kindness and compassion for ourselves as well as for others? One more breath. And exhale, release those hands down. All right, opportunity to come into humble warrior here, bringing that right knee back toward the block, that right shin back toward the block. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, like wings, bring it back behind you. Interlace the fingers, squeeze the shoulder blades, lift the heart up, lift the chest up. This could be enough. Yeah, make sure that left foot is grounded, strong in the core. As you exhale, lead with the heart, lead with the throat. And once you feel that belly making a little connection to the thigh, perhaps you can let the head spill over and arms come up and away. Good. Breath in and breath out. Woo, rising up slowly, push down into the roots. Rise on up. Oh, and release those hands and bringing that right foot back to the floor. Stepping your way back to center, removing that block out of the way. Good. Shake off the hands a little. Shake the legs out a little. Grab some water if you need it. All right, good. Now I'm going to offer up one of my favorite poses to practice for Visuddha Chakra and communication, and it's called Matsyasana. Some of you may know Matsyasana as the English name is fish pose, okay? And yes, believe it or not, we can do fish pose in a chair. All right, so I'm gonna walk you through a very modified variation and then a deeper variation if you wanna try, okay? But I'm gonna turn my sideways again just so that you get a really good visual of me, okay? Sitting yourself forward on the chair again, right? Bring those hands back behind you, interlace the fingers, right? Drawing those knuckles back and down. And then see if you can straighten through the legs and point the toes. Yes. Maybe leaning back a little bit, right? Lifting the heart up, opening the throat. This is a modified version of what we're gonna do here. Maybe this is enough. It feels pretty intense, actually. Yeah. And then chin comes back down first and rise back up. Keep the legs neutral, yeah? And then we're gonna take option 2. You can go back to option 1, right? If you wanna take option 2, I'm gonna ask you to hold onto the seat of the chair, right? Bend those elbows, lean back a little bit more, maybe sliding the hands toward the hips, yeah? And then you get the support of the upper part of the chair, squeeze those shoulder blades in, and then maybe letting the head come all the way back. If at any point here you feel like you cannot breathe, come out of the pose. No pose is ever worth losing your breath over. Right? If you wanted to really challenge yourself here, you could actually float those legs up. Ooh, yeah, using some core. Matsyasana, fish pose. Yeah. Good. Lower the legs down if they're elevated. Chin comes to chest. And then sit yourself up, roll yourself up. Ooh, yes, we're gonna take a counter pose for all those amazing back bends and throat openers here. Good, so I want you to take your arms, reach them out and up. Draw the legs maybe a little closer together this time, but keep the feet flat and stable, and bring the hands to the knees and round yourself forward. Slide the hands down the shins. Ooh, let the head go. Good, maybe shaking head yes or no again. Just breathe. Beautiful. And then with an inhale, sliding up nice and slowly. Roll those shoulders back and down. Really, really good. All right, let's take that left leg, lift it up, cross it over. Right, and we're gonna come into another twist here. Hold on, right hand to the outside of that left leg. Left arm reaches up. Big breath in, flex those left toes. As you exhale, turn the body to the left and find the back of the seat of the chair or the back of the top of the chair. Little opportunity to twist deeper. With all of the back bending and forward folding, the spine likes to reset itself by twisting. And then inhale, arms forward and up. And exhale, hands down and uncross. Beautiful. Switching sides. Right over left, flex right toes. Yeah. Right, left hand on the outside of right leg. Inhale, right arm up. And exhale, spiral and twist. Find the back to anchor. Good. Breathe. Next inhale, both arms forward and up. And exhale, hands down, and we uncross. Good, really good. So start to walk yourself back into your chair. Good, here for a moment. I want you to just sit back. Turn those palms upright. Close your eyes. And I would like to offer a nice silent affirmation. Maybe turning the palms upward to receive this message. You can repeat silently in your head, or if you choose, you could actually say it softly out loud, right? Maybe it depends on where you feel you need to work on your communication. This one is for yourself. May I be able to express my feelings with ease and be balanced between heart and mind. May I be able to express my feelings with ease the balance between heart and mind. So good. So the quality of your voice, your smoothness, your openness, that's all the physical, right? As we settle in here, I'm going to share one little story with you before we come to the silent portion of our resting practice. I had one student this week who answered the question by saying, I don't think I am progressing in my practice. I think I am regressing. She's in her mid-70s and has been practicing for a very long time. And I asked her, why did she feel that way? And she focused only on the physical of what she used to be able to do and can no longer do. And so at that moment, I felt heavy-hearted and really wanted to share that message that this practice is so much more than that physical. And yes, please let it be a place that will make your bodies feel good. But know that it is not just the tenor and the softness and the openness of the voice, but it is the quality, the truthfulness, the communication, the connection to the high intentions of beautiful compassion and kindness. And so you can release that active breathing, shift the body into a softer, natural breath. Perfect time for me to talk less and smile more. About 2 or 3 minutes, maybe, of quiet and stillness here. As you hold on to the stillness and the sweet quiet for a few more moments, can you watch the breath gently coming in through the nose, and as it coats down and bastes across the back of the throat, that Visuddha chakra as you inhale, and takes the same pathway, reversing its way to get out of the body with an exhale. Every breath an opportunity to purify Visuddha. And then allow your breath to deepen here. Feeling that sweetness coming into the body. Wiggle your fingers and your toes. Maybe circle ankles or wrists. Good. When you feel ready, you can sit up tall once again. Right, drawing the shoulders back and down, bringing the hands first back to that throat chakra, Visuddha. Right, connect to your ability to express yourself. And then bring your hands to your heart. Right? Communication is surely at the heart of our practice. And I wish to share with you how grateful I am for each one of you coming out to see me and practice with me and to trust me for guiding you in this ancient and most magical practice we call yoga. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti He. Om Peace, Peace, Peace. May this practice always be a source of peace for each one of you. Happy Friday. Good health, and good, sweet communication. Namaste.